Welcome to the video. I'm going to show you how I wash my own car, and in the process I'm going to explain to you how to get a swirl-free professional detail on your car. So starting up, the first thing I like to do is clean my wheels. Knock that out. I like to pre-rinse them with my pressure washer. I'm using the Active 2.0. Product links for everything, by the way, I'm using in this video are in the description. Now, the wheel cleaner I'm using right here is the Griot's Heavy Duty Wheel Cleaner. Now, I wash my car every single week, and I really don't need a heavy duty wheel cleaner to clean the rims. Only reason I'm using this is because I ran out of my other normal wheel cleaner. Another note on that too, if you're washing your car every single week, like I do, you honestly don't even need a dedicated wheel cleaner because your rims just aren't going to be dirty enough to need like a heavy cleaner like that. Most of the time, I will just use the soap from my foam cannon, which is highly lubricated, and that works just as fine to clean my wheels with. Now, the hand scrubbing tool I'm using right here is also a Griot's product. As you will see in this video, I use a lot of Griot's products. In between washes, I rinse it out with the pressure washer just to get excess dirt and stuff out before I move on to the next rim. So after cleaning the rims, the next step in the wash process I like to do is a pre-rinse with my pressure washer. And the reason I like to do this is because just over the years from experience, I've learned that it removes about 80% of excess dirt and grime and debris on your car that might potentially cause swirls or scratches during the contact wash coming up later in this video. So for that reason, again, I like to do a pre-rinse with the pressure washer just with water alone to remove any loose debris and contaminants on the car. Now, if your car is really dirty, it's not going to remove all the dirt, just FYI. So here we are now foaming the vehicle, and I use the foam from the foam cannon, or the soap from the foam cannon, if you will, as the lubrication for my contact wash. In this video, I am using the Adams Mega Foam, which isn't quite as lubricated as the Griot's, what the heck is it called? The Griot's Foaming Surface Wash. That is the most lubricated foamy wash I have ever used, and my all-time favorite. Adams by far foams up the best, but if you want a really good lubricated snow foam to use for a contact wash, definitely go with the Griot's Foaming Surface Wash. Again, I've linked everything in the description below that I'm using in this video, so you can check it out for yourself. Now, the reason I only foamed the hood and the windshield and top portion of the car and the back of it is because I learned that if I foam the entire car and then go in for a contact wash, the soap ends up rolling off of the vehicle before I can get to all the sides of it. So for that reason, I like to only foam one portion of the car at a time, go in, do the contact wash, and then move on to the next panel. So after I'm done washing the top of the car, I will then go and rinse it off quickly, just so that while I'm working on the other sides of the vehicle for the next 10 minutes, the soap and water doesn't dry on the car, leave soap spots, water spots, what have you. So I do a very brief just rinse the soap off the top of the car so it's not sitting on there while I rinse the other sides, or clean the other sides. Alright, so we got the top and half portion rinsed off, so now I'm going to apply soap, foam to the next half of the car, and then I'm going to go in for a contact wash. Now, as you'll notice, I've got two buckets I'm using in this video. One bucket is for my clean mitts, one bucket is for the dirty mitts. I like to use 3 wash mitts per car whenever I'm washing a vehicle. I don't like to do the whole 2-bucket method with a grit guard type thing. I just don't trust the grit guards getting the dirt off the wash mitt. And just to be extra careful, just use a wash mitt for every side of the vehicle. They're not that expensive. So starting from the top of the car, working your way down, you do not want to wash the car from the bottom up because all the heavy dirt and debris is going to be located along the bottom halves of your car because that's closer to the ground, gets more, stuff thrown up on it. So start washing from top down. About halfway through this, flip the wash mitt over onto the other side. It gives you a flat, fresh, clean mitt to continue washing with and further reducing the chance or risk of swirls on the car. Now, as you're noticing, you might think it's odd that I'm using these wash mitts that you have, like that are the glove ones, and I'm not sticking my hand in them. And that's because I find these just to be the easiest and most versatile wash mitts to use. Whether or not you stick your hand in them, they still work great just to hold them as a typical, flat wash mitt. What's also really nice about these wash mitts is that after you finish the wash, you can then go stick your garden hose inside of the glove and you can rinse it out from the inside out. Really ensures you get any dirt and debris, all that soap and stuff out of the wash mitt. Just makes it super easy to clean and wash afterwards. So again, go toss it in the dirty bucket, go grab a second clean wash mitt, stick it in the clean water bucket, and continue doing the dirty deed. So I have now washed the other side of the vehicle. I'm not going to bother rinsing it off because the soap is fine to sit on the car for up to about 10 to 15 minutes and it's not going to cause any harm. I'm also washing not in broad daylight. I'm doing this in evening hours after the sun goes down. If you wash your car in broad daylight, you're going to get water spots. The soap's going to dry to your car. You're just going to have a bad day. Also, not to mention, it's going to be hot and miserable. So when you're washing your car, always try to do it in the shade. Even if that means, waiting until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. You got to do what you got to do when you love your car. So after doing the whole contact wash thing, I then go and obviously rinse all the soap off the vehicle. You want to start rinsing from the top and work your way down, just because if you rinse the bottom halves first and then go to rinse the top half, you're just going to be creating more work for yourself. So rinse the car off top to bottom. Another thing to look out for is rinsing out your side mirrors and stuff, because they do hold a lot of soap and water in them. So make sure you get them off from all the different angles, because once you go to drive off, it's going to end up spewing soap and stuff everywhere. So get all those little nitty-gritty spaces. Now, something interesting I noticed as I was washing my car, I was like, oh cool, my headlights are fogging up. So yeah, fun fact for you G70 owners out there, this is actually a very common problem with this car, so you can't expect them to fog up at some point. Now what I'm doing here is the drying phase, and I'm using the Big Boy Buddy blower. I have a exclusive video review to that product. Yeah, video link top right corner of the screen. You can watch a full review on it. I use this to dry off all the excess water on the vehicle before I go in and dry with a towel. Now because this drying device is so small, it does take pretty long to dry the entire car off with it if you're just using it as a standalone drying tool. So for that reason, I go quickly along the car, dry out all the nooks and crevices, mirrors, and get all the excess water off of the car that is normally going to gum up or fill up my towel and make me have to use multiple towels. So by using this device, I can dry off the car quickly with it, and then only have to use one large towel to dry the car off, and it works great. So after I finish with that, like I said, I like to go in with my drying towel and just dry off the excess water that's on the car. Now, as I was filming this, it was time for me to re-up the wax on my vehicle, so I thought I'd just include this in the video. I'm using the Griot's 3-in-1 ceramic wax. I also did an exclusive video talking about the Griot's 3-in-1 ceramic wax. If you want to check that out, video link top right hand corner of the screen. Really good spray on wax, super easy to use, and honestly is just as good as some of the ones that you'd pay people $1,000 to use. Only difference is that it doesn't last as long. And I do an application of this a few times a year, maybe like 3 or 4 times a year. I do it every few months. The winter where I live just ended, so you know it's time for the spring clean. The spring wax, if you will. I could tell the hydrophobic properties on my car were starting to get a little weak, so it was time to re-up the ceramic. So spray a few squirts per panel. And in this portion, I am using the Griot's Terry Weave drying towel. My personal opinion, this is the best drying towel I have ever used, ever. And I've been cleaning cars since I was a little kid and used a lot of drying towels. If you want a great towel, granted it's expensive, it's like $50, but you can do your entire car with this towel, and it is a phenomenal, high-quality, good towel. I've never scratched my car with it. Oftentimes, I do not use a drying aid after using the Big Boy Buddy blower to dry off the car. And like I said, even without using a drying aid, it still has never left a swirl or scratch on my vehicle. So I feel very confident to use this on my car without any sort of, lubrication or drying aid or what have you. So yeah, after I dry the car off and put the wax on it, that pretty much concludes the wash process. The next step is to put everything up, which is the worst part of it all, because I just enjoy washing my car so much. But yeah, guys, everything I used in this video is linked below in the description if you want to purchase it for yourself. I hope you found this video helpful. Feel free to drop a comment below or a question. I always respond to questions or comments on my videos. I like interacting with you guys. So if there's anything I didn't touch on, this wasn't meant to be like a super in-depth guide, just more of a like tutorial showing you quickly how I wash my car, and you can replicate these steps if you will, some of the methods I used, or you can critique them. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hateful comments saying you should have done it this way, you should have done it that way. All I can say, guys, is that I've been washing my car like this for years. It has never left a swirl on my vehicle. I did a paint restoration on my 2013 Scion TC, and I washed it using these methods for a year after that. Never left a swirl on the car. So, you can say what you want. Everyone has their own methods, does things they want to do them. But end of the day, just enjoy washing your car and enjoy the beautiful, shiny vehicle that comes afterwards. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. Have a great day, and don't forget, stay glousy, my friends.